Sometimes you can go with the flow and let people know what you know. But if you go with the flow, you will be flowed. But you have to humble yourself, put yourself on the shelf, not like an elf, not Tyrion Lannister, who sat on the banister, who got just as tall, but he was still small. That's not all. But he was cool, he was the player, he was a lover man, I guess, he did what he can, and he could. So he stood up, to what he felt was right, it was good and tight to him, because he got down with Slim. I ain't talking about Iceberg, who sometimes threw a curve, and what he was getting down with, that's not what I'm about, without a doubt. And then sometimes, you just have to go ahead and twist and shout. I keep on saying, shake of the baby, twist and shout, twist and shout. So there will be no doubt, about twisting and shouting and then pouting. Because they sing about love, from the heavens above, with lust, in God we trust. So there's must. Woman was made for man, man for woman. So let's go ahead and do what we're supposed to do. Treat the woman right. It'll be good, nice and tight, and everything will be right. Out of sight, and you won't fight. So, yeah, that's all I had to say. If I may say, someday there will be a payday, and I'm cool with it, man. So I just wanted it understood. Later, baby. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z, Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, Collective Bargaining Agreement. You know what I mean, man? You have to be able to get down with the vocabulary to know what is so. That's what you do. You pray to become a better person every day, if you may, and try to resist the temptation of sin. Because we were born in sin as men. We made a mistake, man. We want to know what he knew, okay? Remember that, okay? And we're not little gods, Creflo Dollar. Come on now. I mean, dog, man. Get a grip. Where you get that little god? We're little gods, man. Oh, yeah, oh, gee whiz, man. It specifically states that we're not so. Okay? Dog, man. What the hell's going on, man? Like Marvin Gaye said, but he left early. He put it to rest. Sing about love. He said what's going on a long time ago, when songs meant things, Yeah, when they meant stuff, they were talking about things. Liberation, dog, man, what happened to this? Jeez. Oh, well, we need to get our story out, man. Damn, haven't we been oppressed enough? Gee whiz, big business taking care of over everything. And people working for nibbles and bits. Gee whiz. And then they want to take what we have. Oh, boy. Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Things are going to get tight, man. I hope they don't cut down and reduce Social Security in a few years. And then they talking stupid. Those Negroes, it'll be a disaster if they got $300,000 that they should get. Man, put the toupee on and do some thinking. Please. Gee whiz, man. All I see is a bunch of geeks. Is that what they call representing? Gee. Okay, well, we'll see what happens. But is this what we've come to? Present day Babylon. The emergence of the European coalition, European Union. What's that all about? I'm not supposed to mention anything like that, or the people in power, perhaps. What the hell's going on, man? I mean, it's stupos all over the doggone place, man. You know, they're rearing their heads up and carrying on, but I'm just tripping. I don't know nothing. I was just in Hawaii when Hirohito came down, and across the hangar from me was a brother of Clifford Ray. It comes out automatically now. It's so fluid in everything that I worked for Artist Gilmore. He had a company called Gilmore and Felt. Herman Felt, Master Sergeant at Lackland Air Force Base in 1984. I used to go to work. He had a brother named Patrick and a brother named Earl. I used to drink with Patrick after work. So now, what a story of life I've lived. Having, grandfather owned property next to the Cleveland Browns practice facility at Case Western Reserve University. I used to play football in the streets on Knowlton Avenue when I was a kid. Jump around, autograph my football when I was 11. And I won a trip to Hiram College, and I saw Leroy Kelly among other players. When Leroy Kelly was my hero. And then I had one of the greatest moments of my life a few days ago when I met the fantastic Gregory Pruitt, and he could do it. I love Greg Pruitt. He's an all-time great. Paul Warfield, I always wanted to meet him. My great-grandfather, Albert Hardiman, was born in 1847, died in 1950. He was born in 1847. He died in 1927. He was 80 years old. He was married to Ella Elias, just like St. Elias, over on off of Memphis. Over in Old Brooklyn, in Cleveland. He had his church over there. And it just so happens the apostle here, name was Ella. Ella means come here in Greek. Okay? So, yeah. My great grandfather, he was the patriarch of the Hardiman Methodist Church in Grenada, Mississippi. And, if you know anything about Grenada, Mississippi is a train station that they used when Emmett Till's uncle had to escape, or his grandfather, I believe it was, had to escape from Money, Mississippi, to get away from bigotry. So you can just about tell the environment that they were brought up in. Having gone through that, to build a church, a Methodist church, in his honor. Okay, along with the cemetery. And then my grandfather, Patterson Hardiman, the most finest man I've ever known, and I did fool with him. I have to admit it's something that I don't look proud upon, but it's something that is so, it cannot be denied, the things that I've done, the stupidity. But hopefully I've learned from it. He was buried with a smile on his face. Greatest man ever known. He migrated from Grenada, Mississippi to Paducah, Kentucky. There's documentation to show that. My mother lived in Paducah, Kentucky in 1940. So that would have made her 13 years old. And she was living with Hattie Golden, Lydia was my mother's name. Okay, Golden, Aunt Goldie, Hattie, Aunt Hetty, Aunt Mabel, I don't remember seeing Uncle Albert, his name up there, the father of James Hardiman, who was the president of the NAACP in 2016. My cousin. So, it's mystical. Everything is so. Our stories are written. Everything is meant to be. For me to be Joe Wembley, the MVP. You know, getting on the airplane with the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders. You know, that was an afterthought. You know, but it happened. You know, they got on a plane. I pulled out the Bacardi. They wanted to party. You know, and then this old lady came out and she kind of messed things up. You know, but we were young, wanted to have a lot of fun, and we did. You know, so what is there for me to be mad about? You know, for me to look back on it all, you know, and see that everything was meant to be. You know, and I'm still Joe Wembley, the MVP, among other things. Now, you know, but most of all, I'm representing Cleveland, Ohio, the land that I love. Still, you know, the star, the plum from heavens above, Cleveland, Ohio, you know, is where I want to be. You know, Ricky Wembley, the MVP. That's where my heart is, you know, the plum. You know, what they need to do is get rid of that scum. You know, big business over there is taking over. You know, paying nibbles and bits. You know, and taxing people up the yin-yang. That's what I see. You know, Joe Wembley, you know, Ricky Wembley, the MVP. So, I don't know what to name this, man. I'm going to go ahead and close. So, whew. All right, man. Y'all take it easy. Later, baby. If I gotta step out of club, you know I'll think of something to name this. Okay. Joe Blue. I'm out, baby. Later.